What up, everybody? It's your boy Adonis here, I'm actually doing my very first album request, Kross, The Bomb. This album came out in 1993. I vaguely remember this so much just because The Brat came out with Funkdafied. And me and my boys, I was in a boy band, R&B group at that time. We were just big fans of The Brat. So this definitely has that feel of The Brat's Funkdafied. So let's get into this. Kris Kross' second album, The Bomb. The first track, The Bomb, featuring The Brat. This is definitely West Coast. This whole album is just like West Coast with a mixture of like boom bap sounds. Obviously, this is before Southern rap, as everyone consider it now, to be out. And Kris Kross definitely was the inventors of a lot of different sounds now that I don't think they really get the credit for. One thing I've noticed in all their verses and all their raps, they tend to harmonize. A lot of people always give credit to Bone Thugs and Harmony because of their intentional direction of harmonizing, but you kind of notice that Kris Kross did it, but they never really showed emphasis on it. So if one person's rapping, the other one's like right behind them, just harmonizing with them. It was a really good idea, and is definitely The Bomb. Sound of My Hood. This definitely kind of gives you a glimpse of their own personal life. It was a really great track, 8 out of 10. I'm really glad when I hear them talk about where they came from, describing how it is, because they're still in school age at this time, and all the stuff they had to deal with. They were the ones who started the whole baggy pants for my generation. It definitely is something that's definitely stayed around. It Don't Stop. This is really cool. You know, this has that hip-hop vibe to it. It was made by Jermaine Dupri and DMC. You can really hear the like the flows and everything sounds crisp. It's really, really perfect boom bap style. They really do have a really good boom bap style. This track is at 8 out of 10 for me. I've always been a fan of Kris Kross. I love how they spit. The DJ nabs break. I just have to mention this. I wouldn't say this is an interlude. It's just a really nice beat. I kind of wish they spit off this beat, but it's a really nice. That's pretty much it on that one. There's nothing to review. All right, their first single off this album featuring Supercat, which is a really good feature to have. Supercat is he's not a slouch at all when it comes to reggae. So it's a really inventive type of way of doing it, because at that time people weren't having combinations of like hip hop and reggae hooks. Not at that time. So they don't get a lot of credit. Oh, that's the very first time I've ever seen the bottom of that section. This one is a 10 out of 10 for me. Most of it because of its influence of different styles and their creativity. And that beat is just ill. That's such a smooth beat. I'm Real. I like this song. This is another single from them. It's very good. Definitely follows the rest of the album with the trend, and they can spit. There's no question Mac Daddy and Daddy Mac can spit their butts off. They don't get credit for how well they can flow. They can really spit. All right, that one is a 9 out of 10 for me. To the Beat, y'all. It's been a long time since I've heard this track. And Chris Kelly actually worked on this. I know the person who actually requested this video. They were actually talking about Chris Kelly working on some tracks. And this is definitely a really great track. I'm really curious to see how much of an influence that Kriss actually put on it, but it really sounds good. Okay, and I'm going to the next track, Freak the Funk. Now, I had to kind of rewind this back again, because when I was younger, it's funny thing about now, because now we have social media, we have so many different outlets where everyone talks about albums and diss tracks and everything else like that. But back when I was little, the only thing that I remember anybody ever had when it comes to just information besides the source was Radioscope. That's the only thing I used to listen to. But they never talked about like disses or anything else like that. Now that's something people just talk about in the streets. So when I heard this, I was like, there's a line where they say those alphabet boys. It's like, I'm really wondering if they're talking about the alphabet boys with the police, or if they're talking about like ABC, another bad creation. Because I know that they're from Atlanta as well. I'm not sure. If you have more details, definitely put it below. But I'm just trying to get clarification on that. But this track is really good. In fact, I think this is probably my favorite track on the album. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. I love that little mixture of the sounds. Oh, man. You just passed me up. A lot to live for. Here goes Kriss Kross again with another deep song where they talk about their lives from their point of view, especially from a young point of view. Because back then, as everyone knows, especially being a black guy, myself, I know how it was rough. It was rough. It really was. And I mean, with George Floyd, all the other stuff that even I'm in Orlando, Florida. So with Trayvon Martin, he got killed in Sanford, which is right by Orlando, Florida. It's still going on now. So hearing Kriss Kross talking about their issues growing up, talking about how people didn't like how they had their actual style that they came out with, that really, this is a 9 out of 10. I love it when an artist does this. Take him out. Ooh, I really love this song too. I really love this song. I kind of forgot how much I really liked Kriss Kross until I heard this album again. Because mostly when I used to think about Kriss Kross, of course it was the Totally Krossed Out album and Young, Rich, and Dangerous. I can't wait to review that one. But that album was definitely, oh man, that's such a jam. But those were more commercial appeal. This one is just straight raw, have that Snoop Dogg type of feel to it. This song is a 9 out of 10 for me. And the All Right extended remix is just that. An extended remix. 6 minutes, which is saying a lot now, because now, like Joe Budden does 6-minute songs, but a lot of people, especially back then, definitely didn't do 6-minute songs. And the only other thing I didn't really mention off the bomb is the Brat's verse. I really, really was a big The Brat fan when she first came out with Functified. So just hearing her just spit on that again, it just gave me back that old school feeling of this whole album. Thank you so much for putting your comment below for me to review this album. It was something this album is something that I really forgot about. I remember Totally Krossed Out and I remember Dangerous. I kind of forgot this album. I think because my family moved from Las Vegas to Niceville, Florida. That's a story in itself. I don't think that I was focusing on it as much as I was with the other two albums. But this album is definitely 8 out of 10 for me. They don't get their credit for a lot of stuff. They don't. They don't get their credit for their flow. That is impeccable. They don't get credit for their style that everyone to this day still does. Everybody to this day. Hip hop style would not be the same without Kriss Kross. There's no other way of saying it. And this album's just a gangsta album. It's one of those albums you just listen to with your boys. You just chilling back. You know, a nice Saturday. You're just trying to holler at some girls. You know, just chill. That's it. Man, I miss those days. Anyway, R.I.P. to Chris Kelly. If I did not say that in my other video. It's really sad to see people who are of my age already gone, and he was gone way too soon. I definitely like Kris Kross. Thanks so much for everything, and thank you so much for putting down that comment, and thanks so much for your time. Peace.